Guys, crop farming versus poultry farming, which one is better? Get ready for the video. Hello guys, welcome back on the channel. My name is Jacob. I do love poultry farming. I really love poultry farming. But in this particular video, we are going to be talking about crop farming, guys. Crop farming and then poultry farming. Which one is more profitable or which one is better? So number one, we are going to be starting with the land that you require. When it comes to crop farming, you will find that you will need a big space, guys. Take a look. This is cassava. This is the cassava that we planted in our fence where our poultry farm is. Our poultry house is over there. So this is cassava. This is crop farming now. So you will find that you actually need a big space to do the crop farming compared to what we would call the chicken. In actually a small space, you are keeping a lot of birds over there. But with the crops, you will have huge land, guys. So without land, it will be very, very hard for you to do crop farming. Very hard. But with the chicken, you can actually start up because you will actually need a small space to build your house, you know, your chicken house. You are good. Another thing is that when it comes to the labor cost required to run these two, you will find that you will actually need more people to work in a crop farming than you will need to actually manage your poultry farm. Like one person can manage this one over here. But let's say that this is a 10-acre cassava plant. You cannot only need one person to work over here. You need very many people to work in here. So guys, when it comes to the labor cost, you will find that you will actually need a lot of people, very many people to work in your garden compared to the people that you will need to work in your poultry house. So that is with the labor which is required. Another thing is that when it comes to the season, you will find that the crops, they are seasonal. You know, we are actually going towards dry season, meaning that there will not be rainfall at all. So you cannot actually do crop farming in dry seasons. No, you cannot, because there will be no water for your plants to grow. But when it comes to the poultry farming, you will find that any season, whether dry season or you're in the wet season, you can actually start a poultry farm and then run it without thinking about the weather. So with the crop farming, it depends on the weather, you know, it depends on the weather. But with that, no need of the weather, absolutely no need of the weather. And then another thing is that when you think about the market of these two things, that's the crops and then the poultry, you will find that in the crop farming, the prices keeps fluctuating, guys. You know, today, a kilo of maize may be at, let me say, 600 Ugandan shillings. And then the next season, you will find it at 1,000. So it keeps on running up and down. But with the chicken, the prices of the chicken, they can actually rise or lower down. But the rate at which they lower down or rise up is very small, guys. Very small. I think the prices of eggs in my country, at some point it was 9,000 Ugandan shillings, and then it took very many years to reach 10,000. And then, of course, right now it is at, I think, 11,000. So you can see that even if they increase, the rate at which the prices fluctuate is very small, guys, very small. So you will find that the crop farming is very risky, guys. You can spend a lot of money in actually plowing, a lot of money in buying the seeds, but at the end, the prices can be lowered down, meaning that you will get a loss. So that's with the prices of the crops. And then when it comes to the expertise required, you know, the skill required, you will find that in crop farming, you don't need any skill. Like weeding this, you don't need to learn it from somewhere to come and weed this. With the hoe, you can come and then start weeding. You can plant, you know. You don't need to actually go in the class and then start learning how to plant something. You will just dig and then plant. When you actually go to the chicken, you will find that you need actually some skills to actually do that kind of business. You actually need to learn very many things connected with the feeds, connected with the breeds. The moment you actually try to be unserious in the chicken, you can kill all of your chicken, you know. So you have to have that skill in you to actually manage the poultry birds compared to the what? The crop farming over here. When it comes to the time for you to yield your products in crop farming, there are some crops which take 3 months, and then there are others which can take up to a year, you know. we have the annual crops, the perennial crops. We have very many types of crops, you know. So there are others which can take a year for you to actually eat them. There are others which can take to 3 years for you to eat them. So you will find that you will be spending most of your time, you know, all of your time working on something for very many months, for very many years, without even getting a shilling from it. But with the poultry farming, after 2 months, that's with the broilers, you have gotten something from your work. But with this, like for instance, this one over here, this cassava over here, I think they were planted, if I'm not mistaken, I think 5 to 6 months ago. That's when they were planted. But guess what? We have not yet eaten even a single root out of it, not even taken it. So you can see that it takes time for you to actually get something from it. That's with the crop farming. And then guys, when it comes to the crops, it doesn't mean that any land you can plant anything and then it will bring something to you. No. Like for instance, in some countries, maize cannot grow over there, but they do have land, big land even. And then in some countries, even let me say simsim cannot grow over there. So you actually need land which is fertile. Besides having the land should be fertile for you to actually do crop farming. Not that any land, you know, you can actually put anything into the soil and it will bring you something. No, the land should be fertile. But when it comes to poultry farming, whether the land is fertile, the land is rocky, you know, poultry farming doesn't know that. Only thing that they want is that they want to construct a house over there which can accommodate their birds. That's all. So the fertility of the soil doesn't matter when it comes to poultry farming. With the fertility of the land, it will also determine whether your crops will actually do well or not. And then the last one, okay, before we go to the last one, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor guys. I'm waiting for you to subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Click that subscribe button and then turn on your bell notification, because there are a lot of videos that are coming, a lot of educational videos just for you. Turn on your bell notification. That way you'll be notified immediately I drop any kind of video on the channel, because these videos are for you, just for you. So the last one is that with crop farming, the moment you harvest your products, let me say maize, you can store this maize for as long as the storage is okay. For a long time, guys, for a long time. But when it comes to poultry farming, you cannot do this. For instance, let me say with the broilers, the moment the birds are 2 months, you have to sell them. And if the market is not there, you must have a refrigerator, a big one, whereby you have to actually keep this meat, of course, in there. So you will find that with the crops, you can keep them for as long as you want and for as long as the storage is good. But with the poultry, hell no. So basically guys, that was it, and see you in my next video.